Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. It is your boy HMK once again, and we're here live once again with the fifth dimension. And we have plenty to talk about when it comes to the advent of new Nintendo news. The Nintendo Switch 2 is real. Nintendo Direct is happening next month, and Tears of the Kingdom did not forget its 1-year anniversary. And because of that, we have many guests in store for the fifth dimension when it comes to processing and theorizing the predictions of what is in store for us this year and beyond. So, without further ado, let's introduce our guests. First and foremost, everyone please welcome my homie, Ndukauba. How you doing today?
Hey, what's poppin', people? It's your boy. All right, hello, my name is Ndukauba. I kind of look like the Nintendo Switch as usual, but no. This time I look like the Switch OLED. What's poppin', people? How y'all doing?
I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. But I gotta say, Vegeta's better than Gogeta. So,
no, we're not having this again.
I would like to introduce our next guest. Everyone, please welcome NintendoFanGirl.
Hello. Hope everybody's having a nice night. Ready for a pleasant conversation.
Oh, pleasant as it gets. Just so you know, Cherry is the best Animal Crossing villager. No cap.
Oh. Hey, what about Bob? Come on.
Last but not least, everyone please welcome my boy RogersBase. How you doing today?
I am doing lovely, but you said pleasant conversation, and just beforehand, you were clowning on me for some Genshin Impact takes.
Yeah,
so I don't know exactly what's happening today. I don't know what I'm getting into.
I like how you're trying to get the one-up on me with Genshin Impact takes, but here's the thing. Odyssey is better than Sunshine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so let me explain
Here it comes.
why I tweeted that. Let me explain why I tweeted that. It is not, I think objectively, like development-wise,
Objectively, you're wrong.
No, I think Odyssey's a better game than Sunshine. You said you're wrong before you even let me finish. See, here you go. What I was saying is I think Odyssey is a better made game, but I would rather play Mario Sunshine. I would rather play Mario Sunshine. But Odyssey's a better
You're my
game.
friend. You're my homie. We've known each other for so many years, and I love you. But you're psychotic. Why would you play Sunshine over Odyssey? You like hurting yourself?
Odyssey, the first 10 hours of Odyssey are peak. They are fantastic. Peak creativity, lots of awesome characters, really good level design, fantastic music. Once you actually beat the game, once you beat Bowser and you get into the actual second half of the game and you're expecting the creativity to still be bouncing off the walls, instead you're spending your time just buying moons with coins and finding moons in really kind of lame locations. And the only other 2 levels you unlock after the really cool final level, which is the the cool Mushroom Kingdom one, you just get Dark Side and Darker Side. They could have done so many other cool things with other levels in the post game. I was very disappointed by that. But the game itself is still good.
Wait. To also go off of what Roger's saying, because my man Roger spin facts, right? See, the thing is, Super Mario Sunshine has FLUDD, bro. That's all I need. That's it.
FLUDD.
You get that extra little floaty jump. It's great, man.
All right. Not to backtrack so much off this conversation, but Sunshine's level design was made by Satan himself.
Okay,
and
I hard disagree. Hard disagree.
We have a whole world, the Pico world? Really?
No. Okay, first off, if you're talking about Pico Harbor is awesome. If you're talking about Noki Bay, is I think what you actually meant. Noki Bay.
No, Pico Harbor sucks. Noki Bay sucks, and Pianta Hill, where the fuck it's called, is bad.
Nothing but violence today. Let's get it.
This is ridiculous.
Pleasant conversation.
FLUDD is great.
What happens? You got the 3 of us on
Don't worry. We're Roger and Ndukauba.
We're fighting the brand ambassadors today, all right? We are in a hard alliance. We got the Pirate Alliance, and Ndukauba, NintendoFanGirl, and I. All right, we're taking you on, HMK.
It's
I
fine.
like Mario
it's
64.
Fine. I could say something, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna because you're my friends. So, let's get into Nintendo's. I will say my chest. Of course, Nintendo brand ambassador is gonna say that Nintendo can't do no wrong when it comes to Sunshine and shit, because it's bad.
Wait. I, a Nintendo brand ambassador, and saying Sunshine is better than Odyssey. I'd
Yeah,
rather play Odyssey.
you
What do you mean?
are wrong. Like, bro, Nintendo, even when you say the idea, trust me, ladies, and we're gonna get back to our scheduled programming. But when you say that Odyssey is like worse off because of the post game for Sunshine, are you out of your mind? You want me to play Sunshine post game to collect all those fuck ass blue coins in order to get that stupid ass picture at the end of all those Piantas and Nokis? Just like, hey, let's take a picture, y'all. Oh my god!
Whoa!
What?
But does Odyssey have Bowser chilling in a hot tub? No,
Exactly. It does
No,
not.
it has Bowser chilling in a wedding in a wedding tux. I'd rather have him doing that in some green ass tub filled with God knows what.
The thing about Odyssey and Sunshine, like Odyssey versus Sunshine, is with Sunshine, you still see the impact of the side characters, right? Like Nokis and Piantas and all the little guys from Sunshine showed up in other games. For a whole generation of Mario spin-off games, you had Piantas and you had Nokis.
Yeah,
Wait. We are literally getting a 1,000-Year Door remake next week. All right, Piantas are going to be
from 2004, Roger.
Wait. What I'm saying is the only thing you see from Odyssey in any spin-off game is Pauline. You don't see Cappy in anything. You don't end up seeing the cute little seal guys. You don't see the little Toast Arena skeletons. You don't see any of them because Nintendo knows that the art style of Odyssey, while it was cute and each world individually was great, was not cohesive, and the characters do not fit in the remaining overall Mario universe. You know I'm right. You can go get whatever you want. You know I'm right.
Bro, where's my Pianta hat? Where's my Noki hat, huh?
People say Cappy's in Smash Ultimate. That's true. Cappy is in Smash Ultimate as a tiny little Easter egg. I'm saying look at the Sunshine generation
Cappy
and the characters that
Cappy and Odyssey came out.
Why is Cappy not in Mario Kart? That makes no sense.
What's Cappy gonna do? How's Cappy gonna drive?
He's a ghost. What are you talking about? He's got arms. What are you talking about?
He's going to possess the car. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you that. But still, like, you can't be using 1,000-Year Door that came out in 2004. You can't be using Pianta showed up in all these games when Sunshine came out in 2000, 2001. I don't care. Odyssey literally had its games post-game with all these like tribes and people show up in the various worlds that you've gone. They went and had their own Odyssey inspired by Mario's Odyssey. What can you say that? Yo, Piantas, they don't leave their stupid ass island.
All I'm
Nokis,
saying is when we eventually get Phoenix Wright and Smash Brothers, there's not going to be a Mario Odyssey trailer. It's going to be based on Mario Sunshine. So I'm sorry. It is what it is. Phoenix Wright is going to be Mario's lawyer.
That's really creative. I'll give you that. All right, but we're gonna keep talking about this. Don't worry, Chad. We got some heat, and that's what the fifth edition. I like to start the heat. That's why I did all that, even though like Roger is wrong. You know, because
that's crazy.
Right? No, that's
rhymes with W. So, with that being said, Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Direct happening next month. This is the big blowout that happened this week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Since I'm gonna throw the ball over to Roger first when it comes to that idea. So, Roger, tell me your expectations when it comes. Like, you can tell me, like, you can choose a path. Either the path of expectations of the console itself, or a path of expectations of games that you like to see on Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna give it to you. What are we looking at?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's tough because I think right now, like if you look at what they said during that investor meeting, right? They said that the June Direct isn't going to have the Switch Successor in it. What that says to me is they're probably going to be carrying around the same marketing cycle that we got for the original Switch, which is that June we didn't see anything about the Switch at that E3.
Oh yeah.
That September we ended up getting that standalone trailer reveal for it. The following January we had the big Nintendo Switch presentation and it launched in March. The only thing is that I know there's all these rumors about Nintendo like telling their partners that they wanted to delay to Q1, but I think we're in a strange position where unless they have like a really big game for the holiday season for Switch beyond like what's on the horizon. We got
Metroid Prime 4.
Prime 4. I mean, they could. I mean, I'm of the mindset that I really feel like the rest of this year, like if we do get big Switch games, we'll probably be like a Mario Party because they do those every 3 years.
Oh man,
I
would prefer Mario Party to be on Switch too, honestly.
I know, but I feel like but traditionally right? You had 3 Mario parties on the N64.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did 3 of them. They usually come out every 3 years. That's small enough, especially if the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible, where I could see them releasing that and then having that as like a big Mario
Oh, definitely.
game
Either Super
holiday.
Mario Party 2 or Superstars 2. Like,
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And then I also really feel like with Fire Emblem, you know, we've had that rumored genealogy remake.
Genealogy
going
Holy
for
War,
years.
hell yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably still happening. Also because historically, you look at the 3DS, we got Fire Emblem Echoes as one of the last games that released on 3DS as well. So having an Echoes game towards the end of the lifespan of Switch, I also think makes sense.
Do you remember the rumor? Because there was a rumor along with the Genealogy Holy War, there was a rumor of Echoes Path of Radiance, right?
I mean,
And
that would be
I
fire.
would
I
love that too.
Yeah. I also am not completely writing off, not to talk too much about like Switch's lineup for the year.
Oh, yeah,
right?
no,
Like,
no,
the
go,
Switch
go,
2
bro.
is
This is the
nothing.
fifth dimension.
But
bro.
I also still totally believe that rumor about Kid Icarus Uprising only because
Man, don't
that
hurt me.
initial
Don't
rumor-
hurt me.
No,
Don't
because
hurt
that
me.
initial there's a lot of stuff about that, right? The initial rumor about that also had mentioned that we were getting Dark Moon ported to Switch, which like at the time made no sense. You're like, why
And
are
it
we doing Dark
happened.
Moon port? And then it happened. That exact same rumor also had mentioned and dates back to Happy Home Paradise being an expansion for Animal Crossing and a new F-Zero being in development for Switch, which as we turned out to be F-Zero 99. So literally every single thing from that rumor turned out true except for Genealogy Remake and Kid Icarus Uprising. And so I do feel like those could be the other two. But to bring it back to your initial question, so like go off on the tangent.
No,
I
no,
really
no.
do
This is the tangent, bro. You're good. Like,
Switch 2, I think, will be announced probably like August, September. I think there's still a possibility they do a soft launch around the holiday season, but I think like the full launch of it is still probably going to be happening around like February, March.
yeah, I'm
And I
thinking
still
March.
think-
Yeah.
I think no doubt in my mind, first month or first year is Mario Kart. That's like the one and done. No question about it. I have no doubt in my mind Mario Kart is first year.
That's the one thing I'm like, I don't know, because I mean, like, because not too long ago it was confirmed, thanks to all the sales, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Everyone commented on it. Is the highest selling Nintendo game of all time, right?
Exactly.
So I'm like,
Exactly.
and the craziest thing about that is that even with that news, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's Steam is not running out anytime soon. So in my idea, like, I know we're gonna get Mario Kart, whatever, you know, if they want to count Tour and they want to count that the VR thing, you know, the toy shit. If they want to count those numbers, Mario Kart 11, Mario Kart 12, Mario Kart 10, whatever, Mario Kart Next, it's gonna happen, but I don't think it's gonna happen for a launch title for Switch 2.
See, the thing about this, and the reason why I think it's like first year is if, again, it's all about like looking at the history, right? Because with Nintendo, you can never believe anything until Nintendo actually does it.
Absolutely.
So I feel like you just kind of have to look at what has already happened. And if you look at Deluxe, at the DLC fully wrapping up, we don't know what that Mario Kart team is working on. I highly doubt it's ARMS 2. So I feel like the only other thing that it would be
You never know.
would be the next mainline Mario Kart. You never know. That's true. But the other thing about it, also, you mentioned the numbering of it, right? Is that Mario Kart, this next one is technically 10, right? Internally, we have discovered due to the DLC
of
the way that
X,
they stored the
Mario Kart
DLC,
X,
right? That 9 is technically Tour, and that 10 could potentially be X, which also could double as like a big crossover game for them. You know, they're probably not going to have a Smash Brothers first year. I just don't see that happening.
At this point, like,
in order to
Nintendo Kart, bro. Like,
in order to have like that kind of big crossover game that really shows off the graphics of the new system, I do feel like a Mario Kart X, right, a crossover Mario Kart 10 with all the Nintendo franchises would be huge. And also, you know, you had mentioned, well, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling. I think it will continue to sell to people who have a base Switch. But if you're trying to get people to get a new system,
here's the next Mario Kart.
Is you go the next Mario Kart, it's exclusive to the next system.
No, it makes sense. It does make a lot of sense from a business standpoint, but I'm just like, I'm just reading the terrain of like Nintendo, because I'm gonna throw the ball over to NintendoFanGirl after this. But from what I've seen and what has happened, is just Nintendo has been kind of flip-floppy and lax on the ideas like, hey, if this continues to sell, we're chill. And then as soon as, you know, things go differently, then that's when we're gonna like start up or whatnot.
See, I think one last thing is I
Yeah.
feel like that's the weird position that we're in this year, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
it
you've got
really
Xbox
is. Yeah.
You've got
Mhm.
Xbox shuttering studios with their only major game
Ooh.
being Indiana Jones. You've got PlayStation straight up announcing they are not releasing any first-party games this year,
Which is
and the only other
bullshit.
PlayStation game is Rebirth, right? That's
Mhm.
it. So, like, if you're going well, Stellar Blade, obviously, too. You can't
Yeah.
discount Stellar Blade. But, like, beyond that, there's literally nothing else. And so this is kind of like Nintendo's year to lose in terms of sales. And I think because there's nothing else that they're competing
You
with,
know, it's funny
that's
because like
kind of why I feel like
Yeah.
they can ride the coattails.
right,
And
like,
be like, here's a Fire
it is
Emblem,
their
here's a
year to
Mario
lose,
Party.
but they're like,
Yeah.
bro, this is our year to win. What are you talking about? Like,
No, but what I mean is like
Like-
with the sales, right? Is
Yeah.
they don't need to do anything and the Switch will sell. They literally don't need to do
Luigi
anything.
does nothing and wins.
No, like, yeah, exactly. You've got Paper Mario, you've got Luigi's Mansion. We're probably going to get those Zelda ports. We're probably going to have the Fire Emblem. We're probably going to have Mario Party. That's enough.
Yep.
Like, especially with Legends Arceus and Metroid Prime on the horizon. Dude, like, you don't need anything else. That'll absolutely suffice leading into Switch.
Absolutely. But before we get into other points of that, because I like how you brought up those points, I want to throw the ball over to Nintendo Fangirl, and I want to ask your piece on Nintendo Switch 2. How are you feeling? What do you think about potential release, announcement, and games? Let's hear your thoughts.
I'm actually thinking, and I don't know if this is just protecting my feelings, being cautious. I actually think it might be a little bit later in the year, next
Okay.
year for a launch. Still announced either late this year or very early next year, but I'm kind of feeling like it's going to end up being maybe even in summer release.
Okay.
Not that we have had a lot of that, but Nintendo also hasn't done a lot of repeating of what they've done for prior consoles lately.
Oh,
so
yeah, very lately. Oh, yeah.
they've really been throwing everything up in the air. So there's that. But this is what I'm thinking, and hear me out before you shut it down. I think there's a very strong possibility that we get either 2 screens or a Switch that works as a dual screen with TV when docked.
You know, it's funny because
Interesting.
I would not knock down that idea, because not too long ago I was on the Nintendo Prime podcast and they were suggesting the possibility of the dock, which is like rumored to have like DLSS and 4K capabilities. That is like out of the wazoo. We'll see it when we see it. But a dock that would suggest a magnetic scape where the front panel is non-existent, and then you put the Switch in, and it kind of like melds back into the back part of the dock, but the Switch screen is still active, kind of like how the Wii U screen was active, and it allows you to do like multiple different screen type of gameplay, which I would absolutely welcome, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it opens up backwards compatibility to 3DS and
Oh,
Wii U
yes,
games.
please. Whew.
So that's huge on its own. But also, I think it gives a lot more flexibility, and it doesn't mean that we're now like locked into 2 screen games either in that ideal scenario. So I think there's possibility there, especially with how much they've kind of leaned back into the 3DS library in recent years.
Oh, definitely. I also love too, you brought up the thing with the DS backwards compatibility, because like I do feel very strongly that NSO is going to carry over onto the next thing, right? We already know they announced during the thing all the Nintendo accounts carry over. So that's double confirmation that's happening. I do feel like just launch day one, all the stuff that's already on NSO, right? F-Zero, Tetris, and all of the other old systems will carry over. And they'll probably want something special for Switch 2 people. I think you're right on the money. I think DS would be a great one to bring over.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. And I think there's like no question that Switch compatibility is going to be there, but as much compatibility as there can be. I also think because it's so obvious that Switch backwards compatibility will be there, it might be more of a situation where we get like a really sad launch title group, because they're really looking for. Well, I think that they're probably going to be. There might be one bit. It could be like Metroid Prime 4 or something along those lines.
Right.
I don't think that's a great launch title, so I would hope that it's something more like a Mario Kart X or a Zelda title or something. But I think that they don't need to go super hard, because if you just look at like how OLED sales went, those are mostly people who already have Switch systems.
Right.
So
yeah,
people are going to adopt and then upgrade as the games come out anyway.
You know, I honestly, I do get your idea, like, oh, with all of that in mind, we might get a lackluster, for lack of a better word, launch lineup. But my counter to that is that we've seen it in the Switch days, specifically Switch days, that Nintendo has been very much about, you know, sitting on titles that we have no idea about, and then they reveal it and it's like, hey, guess what, this title's coming out in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, right?
Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, right, Metroid Prime Remastered Shadow literally dropped same day.
I'm like 100% positive they're sitting on Prime 2 and 3.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Prime 2 is going to be Shadow drop in June, guaranteed.
Yeah, so
I would put money on that.
Right.
So when I was on the Prime podcast this week, there was a lot of interesting words when it came to the idea, and I honestly believe it, that they're going to not shadow drop, but they're sitting on potentially a Switch 2 launch title of a new Donkey Kong game. And they've been sitting on that, in which they've been like, because there's all the words and ideas of the not Vicarious Vision. Is it Vicarious Vision? It was I think it was Vicarious Vision. They were developing a Donkey Kong game that never really materialized. That was supposed to be a 3D Donkey Kong. And I'm saying that, like, hey, you know, we haven't seen much from Nintendo EAD lately. Like, they could have been developing a 3D Donkey Kong game in the style of Odyssey, for all we know. And I would absolutely like that, and I will think that will be a really good Nintendo Switch 2 launch title. But before we get more into that idea, because we're talking about Switch 2, we're going to talk about launch titles, and we're going to talk about predictions really soon. I'm going to throw the ball over to Ndukauba. How are you feeling about the Switch 2? How are you feeling about release date and possible launch titles? Let's hear your thoughts.
Oh, man. Okay, so when it comes down to the Switch 2, for starters, I'm just glad Nintendo just shut the rumors down, right? Because we've had rumors for, I don't even know how long. Like, Ndukauba really came out and just like, all right, bro, it's 3 a.m., man. Look, it exists, y'all. Just chill out. Just wait.
Yeah, right.
So, just the fact that they shut the rumors down is nice, right? But when it comes down to the Switch 2, the main thing that I want to see them have is just like, hopefully, a strong lineup, because we're seeing it now with the Nintendo Switch, where they do have some games coming out, but it's not like as extreme as like how it was maybe last year or like a few years ago, right? And it makes sense, right? Because the Switch is, or at least I'm assuming, nearing the end of its life cycle.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, like Switch 2, man, there's so much room for that like console to shine. I mean, for starters, just the novelty of, again, being a console handheld hybrid, right? Like, that novelty to this very day still hasn't worn off. So if the next console is going to be like that, that's already a major W. Of course, with it being a bit more powerful than the current Switches. But again, it also needs the software to go with it. I need Metroid Prime 4. I don't know what they're doing. I don't understand. 2017?
2017? That's crazy, bro.
We got Bayonetta 3. We got Breath of the Wild. We got Xenoblade 3. All these games before Metroid Prime 4. Give me the game. Or show me a trailer. I'll be fine with one or the other, right?
Honestly, I think the game is ready. And they're going to, like, you know, announce it in June. And be like, all right, it comes out in a couple of months. I honestly believe that.
It don't even got to be ready. Look, just show me like a screenshot of Samus's cannon.
To be ready.
It don't got to be ready. Just show me Samus's cannon and I'm good. That's it. But yeah, when it comes down to the Switch 2 though, or whatever they decide to call it, just the main thing is just, I hope that it has a really strong lineup. Of course, it does need to be stronger than the, you know, current Switches. Hopefully they don't use hardware that's like about to be outdated, because that also wouldn't be good.
Right.
But yeah, it really just comes down to the software for me. I mean, again, like I said, Metroid Prime 4, that really is one that I want to see. I think it's been 3 years since we had, because does Bowser's Fury technically count as 3D, like a new 3D Mario game? Because
I will count it. I will count it. Yes,
it counts. Yeah, but it's been 3 years since we've had like a 3D Mario game. I know we just got Mario Wonder, but that's more like 2D, right?
So 2D, yeah.
Yeah, like hopefully we can get something like that. If we're talking about ports, Ayo Nintendo, Xenoblade X, hello? Like what's going on here?
I'm still holding on to the idea of like Xenoblade XL or Xenoblade Extreme that actually finishes the story?
Mm-hmm. We still are on that cliffhanger.
Yeah, Louse on the beach. What does that mean?
I just want them to do something, right? And there is one thing that I want to bring up, right? Like, I know, like, we had the rumors and all that stuff about Switch 2, but we also did kind of have hints too, right? Mm-hmm. Because when it comes down to Nintendo and making games, right? Like, obviously they make things with intention. So when we saw Super Mario RPG and when we saw Thousand Year Door, the remake, and the button scheme of the controller inputs on the screens and whatnot, none of those color schemes line up at all with the Switch. Yep. At all. None of them do.
None.
It's more akin with how the new Nintendo 3DS was, right? So it's kind of a sign that, yeah, we knew something was coming. And if anything, I would hope that just automatically kind of confirms backwards compatibility as well, because that's going to be a major selling point for really any console.
It needs to be.
Sure. Yeah. So again, software needs to be fire, backwards compatibility. Hopefully the hardware is good too. And also one thing that NintendoFanGirl said, bro, DS backwards compatibility? Hold on.
That would be
Hold on. If they like find a way to, I don't even how they do it, make it work with smartphones, do something.
Right. Just whatever they can do to make it work. I mean, imagine the games, man. Pokemon, Mario. Come on, man.
I wouldn't say Pokemon. Only because we haven't even gotten Gen 1 through Gen 3 right now.
I need heart mode.
I hate to be that guy, but yeah, that's
all right, so before moving on to the next subject, ladies and gentlemen, I know that a lot of people are asking in chat when it comes to the idea of us talking about the specs. Yes, we like talking about specs, but this podcast specifically is talking about the prospect of games and games announcements and whatnot. But I will go over the supposed specs in order to give you guys, like, I would say, a landscape of the type of games we can expect to see, not from Nintendo when I'm talking about third party. So it's been heavily implied when it comes to rumors and leaks and whatnot that the Nintendo Switch Successor is going to incorporate possibly that of 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage, DLSS support, and 4K possibility on the dock itself. In lack of, in layman's terms and lack of better terms, the Switch 2 or the Switch Successor, in terms of the leaks, is looking to be a massive upgrade in terms of the top technology that we see with the Switch. That's going to be on par, comparable to that of PlayStation 4 or even that of beyond that PlayStation 4 Plus, but not exactly PlayStation 5. That's the grounds that we think that we might be working with. So, with that being said, let's talk about Nintendo Direct June that's happening next month. We know that Nintendo Switch 2 is not going to be talked about that. Let's talk about the last games that we might see for the Switch, and then afterwards we're talking about Switch 2 games. But for that aspect, I'm going to throw the ball over to NintendoFanGirl first. What do you expect to see when it comes to the Switch Direct that's happening next month without Switch 2?
Well, I think the obvious things are, we've talked about it, but Metroid Prime 2 at least, possibly 2 and 3. It might be like 2 for June, and then they do another shadow drop for 3 in November or something like that. But other than that, I'm hoping for maybe like 1 or 2 really pleasant surprises that we maybe have like given up hope on, like perhaps Wind Waker or Twilight Princess.
Please, I'm so ready. I'm so glad you brought that up.
I swear.
Oh my God! Like
predicting it for what 5 years? I'm not.
Here's the thing. Absolutely, it's a double-edged sword. It's a coin flip. Absolutely, I would love Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD as they came out on Wii, on Switch, 60 FPS. Cool. I am omega happy with that. The one thing I'm like, what if Nintendo is being hanky-panky and decides to make even better versions of those 2 games for Switch 2? I'm like, what do I want? What would I want from that?
Well, wait.
What would you want, NintendoFanGirl, for that choice?
Now imagine that the Switch 2 could, in theory, hold the capability of upscaling games that release on the Switch.
Absolutely.
With an update. Mm-hmm. So we could be looking at, well, I would imagine if they were going to do something like that, they would be doing it with like Tears of the Kingdom and other big releases already. Sure. But games that are coming out at the end of the Switch's life cycle very likely could have been developed with the Switch 2 in mind. So best case scenario, we get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD on Switch, and then at the end of the year, and then they say, oh, but also when the Switch 2 comes out,
next gen update,
you get this like great free next gen update if you buy it.
I absolutely love the idea, because I mean, like it's been done, it's been accepted within the video game communities and consoles outside of Switch when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation. And I would absolutely love next gen updates if Nintendo decides to do that. Absolutely. And you know, it's funny enough, like, not only do I love that, I honestly, I hold them to that, because they're always about the idea of games first, gamers first, all that stuff. I hold them to the idea of next gen updates of existing Switch games and Switch games that they could possibly announce at June's Direct for Switch 2. So absolutely, I don't think it's out of the wazoo. I don't think it's like, you know, like, oh, why would you think that? No, I anticipate
it's doable. It's possible.
Absolutely.
The only other thing I want to mention is that I did a little research recently, trying to figure out what is her name? Aya Kyogoku is up to, the director for Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Okay.
Yep.
And she hasn't done anything. So she's been working on something since New Horizons came out. She didn't, as far as I can tell, she did not direct or produce
and she's
Happy Home Paradise either.
She's internally hired by Nintendo.
Yes, she works for that development studio.
Ooh.
So it's probably going to be a Switch 2 title, but I do think that they have been working on Animal Crossing since New Horizons came out.
100%. Yeah.
I honestly, you know, I agree 100% with you, because, you know, obviously people can take factors like the pandemic when, New Horizons released, but even still, pandemic or not, Animal Crossing has slowly, steadily been selling more and more and more with each release. And Animal Crossing New Horizons is literally one of the top 5. Isn't it number 3?
Yeah,
is it number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3 of Switch selling games. Yeah. So I'm sure that like that made Nintendo look at it is like, oh, now get developing the next one. Switch 2, we're gonna be ready. I honestly believe that. And then like the conspiracy, the fifth dimension theory, the conspiracy is like, oh, people are like, damn, why didn't they support New Horizons like they supported New Leaf? Maybe because they were too busy making the next one.
They were making what are they going to call it? They're going to call it
New Leaf, New Horizons,
new
tree,
new
country.
Animal Crossing post.
Another New Leaf. It could just be
another
New Leaf.
You know, it's funny because New Horizon is such a good definitive name. I can't think of something that's above that. Like New Sun? Like what the like?
It also totally depends what the theming of the next Animal Crossing is, right? Like, I mean, well, it could be any number of things. We truly have like no idea what the next thing. We honestly, like, I would rather we not be mayor or like in charge of the town. I would love to go back to kind of how it was in like the GameCube era, or even like with Wild World, where you're just like chilling in your village.
You know, I'm half and half in that, because I mean, like it was the control that Leaf and Horizons gave us that gave us all this wild stuff that we saw in social media.
But I mean, there's a way to do that without making yourself like the mayor or whatever. You could have something where you have to get like ordinances to then do a certain thing, and then you have to spend a certain amount of bells to do it. Because I think like one of the problems with New Horizons was that Animal Crossing games, as somebody who's a longtime fan of that series, like loves it, has played it since the GameCube era, those games are not meant to be like beaten, quote unquote, in they're
not meant to be like it's a simulator.
We were in a weird situation in which all of us were inside quarantined, and so people, but like everybody wanted everything immediately. And so what happened was everybody got everything immediately, and then they still were like, we're gonna make Happy Home Paradise and put like a whole nother game's worth of stuff in this game, and people then still immediately got what they wanted and were done with it within like 2 months. And so I wonder if they're gonna do something in which it takes longer to get the certain items that you want to get.
Well, I think they tried to force stretch it out with the holidays.
Yeah.
Which was
and then also I feel that that a lot of people that you were talking about, Roger, is like a subsection of that. And I feel there's like a good Animal Crossing has so many different cultures, if lack of a better word, within it that does this, that everyone wants it now, everyone wants it in real time. And then like it's all those subcultures that breed all of these awesome looking towns, all these new ways of like doing things. And at the same time, there's people that ignore all of that and then of course you roll to the beat of their own drum. So I mean, here's the thing. Like I get what you're saying when it comes to like, oh, no longer in control, but I feel it's the control that brought, Animal Crossing to these new heights that allows more and more people to enjoy it and stuff. And I definitely wouldn't want Animal Crossing to reach the scale of Sims, in which you're like, oh, look at me controlling a city of like 50 different villages. Like, no. At cap, my absolute cap for villagers, if we were to get a new Animal Crossing game, probably like 15, right? That's pushing it, right? But like, it's really like a coin flip in the air, because honestly, when playing New Leaf, and I love New Leaf, I was like, how can Nintendo, go beyond this type of like ideology? And then we got New Horizons, like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, all right, yeah. But then, a lot of people thought New Horizons fizzled out, and it's true in certain respects that New Horizons fizzled out a lot faster than previous Animal Crossing games. But I feel that Leaf and Horizons are big learning experiences for Nintendo, and I feel that whatever we get next, if we get as a launch title, is going to please everyone, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no,
knock
for sure.
on wood, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Yokai Watch 1 needs to be localized here on Switch.
Wait, which one?
That's all. Yokai Watch 1 was
Yokai Watch?
In Japan. Man. It was never localized. And I think I understand to an extent why 4 is probably never going to be localized here, because it was underplayed in the US, but I think the original could be ported, maybe get some new players in.
It's crazy because like you ran Yokai Watch, and I keep remembering like I've never really got into Yokai Watch, and I never really got into Final Fantasy 14, and they had a collaboration, and I'm like, they
literally just brought that collaboration back.
Exactly,
brought it back.
And I'm like, yo, where's Yokai Watch? What happened? Where you at? Because it's
still alive and kicking in Japan, but.
Man,
they gave up real fast.
Like Ninjago. No, wait, no, not Ninjago. Ninjalo. That's
Ninjala.
There you go. That one. It's funny because I'm like, Ninjala has an anime, and they're like 80 episodes in.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. I remember playing that game for the first time at E3. I forgot what E3 was. I'm like, damn, look at Ninjala go. What? But before we get into all those like, passionate feelings on the aspect of Nintendo Direct. NintendoFanGirl, do you have anything else to say about possibly Nintendo Direct predictions for next month?
Nintendogs and Kid Icarus. Okay, that's it.
Nice. So I'm gonna throw the ball over to Ndukauba. What are you looking? What are you looking at when it comes to the idea possibility? Remember, no Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. Nintendo Direct June next month. What do you think?
What's crazy? For me personally, I genuinely do not know this time around, because we don't have anything really giving us any type of hints or like some sort of leeway to believing, oh, like this might be coming or that might be coming, right? Because I know you said we're not talking about the Switch 2.
I'm just saying that like I meant Royal Wii, like Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
I cracked myself up. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We know like the Switch 2 is coming, so it's like if we don't really get anything too crazy announced during this Nintendo Direct, I kind of understand, right? But I also do want Nintendo to close off like the year as strong as they can. I can't think of anything. Again, like if there are things that I would like to see get announced during the Direct, again, like I said, Xenoblade X would be nice, like a port of that, or Metroid Prime 2 or 3 or both. you know, again, those two games, especially with how well Metroid Prime did when they just shadow dropped it out of nowhere, like that would be fantastic, right? I can't really think of any Mario games. I can't think of
right, because you know it's that big shadow of the unknown. And honestly, when like a lot of people are bringing up Xenoblade for Xenoblade X specifically, man, it's funny because like I love Xenoblade X so much. And it's like, oh, then why don't you play more? It's like, bro, I'm not gonna plug in my Wii U. What do I look like? You know? But the thing is, that game, a lot of people sandbag it for the quote unquote hollow story. And I'm like, the story for what it was enough. It just wasn't finished. But here's the thing that I'm like fiending for. Like, if they were to bring back Xenoblade X or XL or X2, whatever, yo, that game out of all games that I like, and I'm being very serious with this. Games out of all games on the Wii U, that game absolutely begs for online support. Then so much, like, bro, imagine flying your scales with your homies in Xenoblade X. Like, bro, why don't we have this? And then that's like the main thing why I want, like, if we're gonna get that back, save for Switch 2, because I'm holding out the very subtle hope that Switch 2 is going to have a better online infrastructure than the Switch does. And now so I'm like, yo, I would, like, trust me, I would love X on the Switch, but I would love X with online support. But Switch's online support, yo, if you ain't Mario Kart, you ain't nothing. Like, bro.
Like, Nintendo, we love y'all, man, but that online, bro, you know.
Online's gotta go.
Trust me, I all of us here, we adore Nintendo, right? And you know, it's funny because I don't know if y'all agree with me with this, but I honestly believe that Wii U's online support was better than the Switch's.
Well, that's a hard disagreement.
Yeah, okay. All right.
There's something to it.
Okay, you didn't have to pay for it on the Wii.
No. Okay, it's not because of that. Let me specify. I felt the online was more stable on Wii U than it was Switch.
Oh man, you do
I don't
not
know about
remember
that
some of the days of
Hey, bro,
I don't know what this is.
No,
I will say this right now. There is this weird revisionist history that's been going on over the course of the past 4 months, in which all these people are like, "Oh man, remember the Wii U era? Oh, it was so good."
No, Roger, do not put me with those people. I will tell you, we were in the desert hoping for a drop of rain in the Wii U era. But here's the thing, I do like.
We're good. I give it to the
like not even like, but like I remember, like, I had the Wii U from day one, and I don't know, I thought the online was more stable when I played Smash Wii U, when I played Mario Kart.
Well, no way.
Wait.
Smash Brothers, no way.
Yo, the servers just shut down recently, right?
Yeah.
I made a video, like, I think a few days before the servers shut down for Smash, and it was horrible.
Okay, so I might be wrong, but I'm just saying I remembered it. I honestly remembered it a bit better. But I mean, yeah, I'm willing to bow my head to that shit. But like that,
it was definitely to the point where I remember specifically going back and playing the 3DS version of Smash 4 because I did not want to deal with the online on the Wii U. Yeah.
What the Wii U did have Miiverse, and it literally had like video chat.
Right? Yeah, I get that. Like, the features were cool, but I don't know. I could be crazy. Where like I honestly thought that's
give me the Wii News channel and everybody votes channel any day of the week over that stuff though.
My God,
bro, that's what I want to.
I would love to see. I would love to see all that shit back in Switch. Y'all remember the Wii U channel where it's like, hey, make the best looking Picasso, and you make a me out to look at. Oh my. See, that kind of shit I want back in Switch 2.
Back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you know what? I know what I want to see in the Nintendo Direct. You know what? It may be too little too late, or it could be just, better now than never, right? Completely unrelated to games, just for the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo, add themes.
Yeah, right. Never gonna happen.
Absolutely.
I don't like.
No, don't say that. We had it in the 3DS, though.
Okay, but the Switch 2 is gonna have so many themes. It's gonna have gacha themes.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yo,
it's gonna be making money off of those themes.
It's so funny because for ever since 2017. No, for all three of us, ever since it's 2017 stuff. Ever since 2017, with our fucking Gen Zero ass Switches, we look at the themes: basic white, basic black. Like,
that's it,
and that's it until now. And I'm like, at this point, back then, I'm like, oh, they put the word basic there because they're planning for something else. At this point, I'm like, why the fuck you have basic there? Just say white and black.
White and black. Yeah.
Well, just that adjective means nothing to me. Like,
no, bro, I will settle. Give me basic blue. Give me basic red.
Right.
Take it.
Like the original DS themes, where it's like a slightly different shade of gray.
The 3DS themes had me fiending, man. Those themes were so good. And we never got it here in the States, but the new 3DSs, not the new 3DSs XLs, the panels help dictate the themes in Japan. And I'm like, damn, that's
what?
Oh, you didn't know that?
Oh,
yeah, it was a thing. And I'm like, damn, that's really cool. Because like, here's the thing. I would love that for like Switch or any type of like newer consoles. I understand why Japan doesn't do it outside Japan, because the thing is, the culture is very different outside Japan, where people don't invest as much in those things as they do worldwide. Sure. So when people say, oh, why don't they bring this awesome? Then why does Japan get all the good stuff? And like, you know why? Because in Japan, they buy it. Like, not as many people here buy it. Like, you and me, you and us, like, you, me, Ndukauba, and NintendoFanGirl, Roger, we'll buy it. But like, people on the street that's like wearing a football jersey ain't gonna buy it.
Streets, don't buy it.
Those darn football fans.
Yeah, right.
So, Ndukauba, any other games you like to see announced at the?
In all honesty, I'm good, man. Like, it's crazy because there would have been one game if they never announced it. I would be like, yo, this would have been really cool, and that's Thousand Year Door, man. Like, Thousand Year Door drops in 13 days, bro. Like, it's time. I got what I need. They don't show me nothing at this direct. I'm okay. I got what I want.
Yeah, I've been telling people a lot of the Nintendo information coming out for Thousand Year Door has been very cryptic, and they've been adding stuff, and the game looks absolutely bonkers. People complain about 60 FPS, but I'm like, listen, if Nintendo understands that and adjusts the timing for 30 frames per second, I got no beef, because every other Paper Mario game other than Super Mario runs at 30 frames. So I'm like, I'm chill. But I'm saying they're adding all this stuff, they're adding all the pizzazz, they're adding all these new animations. I'm like, listen, this is copium. If they add Luigi's storyline, this is gonna be the fucking best game ever.
Luigi's.
I'm telling you, the Luigi and the Magical Compass, whatever the fuck it's called, I would die. I would absolutely die. And it's funny because like I'm holding out onto that slight copium, because Nintendo say to themselves, all this new stuff and more that we haven't revealed. They said that. They're like, there's more stuff that we haven't revealed. I'm like,
some NPCs.
Don't do that.
That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be some NPCs. Like, I hate to temper your expectation, but like that,
that's fine. That's fine, Roger. Bro, man. No, I get it,
man. Look, DLC, bro. Look, if it's not in the base, just like chapter Luigi, like DLC. You know what I'm saying? I want to figure out about the compass. You know,
absolutely.
What I'm saying?
Because like here's the thing. If it ain't chapter Luigi, I will be fine with one of two things. And one of my best friends brought this up. Either new post game, or new game plus in a game like Thousand Year Door would be crazy. Because
I'd be down for that.
Game plus would actually be cool. I would love that.
Yeah, because other than aside what's the word I'm looking for? All right, aside from Paper Mario 64, Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door actually incorporates a lot of stuff that is very new game plus hard mode like, with precision stylish precision command
like blocking
action commands. Yeah, exactly. There's a badge for that where it makes it harder for you. And I'm like, that's very new game. Like if you start the game with that, and then you can stack it, I'm like, yo, I would love that. Absolutely. Yeah. And then imagine this is for here in the fifth dimension, who here has beaten Thousand Year Door?
Oh, too many times.
I think all of us. Yeah.
All
of us?
I think we're safe.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So without spoiling directly for the chat, there is a badge that you can get from a secret boss that would be great for New Game Plus. But by the time you get it in your playthrough, it kind of is useless because if you find a secret boss at that point, then you're ready to beat it in the game. That's what I'm saying. Like that would be great to incorporate for New Game Plus. And if you know, you know. If you don't, play the game. So
play the game either way.
Yeah, either way.
And also, everybody who's watching, the Fifth Dimension, just from me to y'all, I need y'all to cop this game, bro. Look, we got to show Nintendo. This game. I've waited too long for this. Way too long. So please. But, I mean, for starters, the game is fantastic. So just get the game if you're interested, but support it. We want to show them we want things like this. So, yeah, buy the game, please.
Man, fuck a sticker star, bro. I want this game, bro. Like, so, but I will go on a limb and say I did like Origami King. I
did too.
Yeah, it's a good game. It was a good game. But Color Splash Sticker Star, you can go somewhere. But absolutely, Thousand Year Door, please play this game. It's an amazing game. I will still say this: Thousand Year Door remake may change it, but Paper Mario 64 is still my favorite Paper Mario game. I think.
Me too.
And let's go!
I think we're all in agreement. Paper Mario 64 is also my favorite Paper Mario.
Let's go!
I love it.
Oh, here we go. And Ndukauba's there. There you go. And Ndukauba.
But no, I also am like Team 64.
Let's go.
64. No, I love y'all, man, but Thousand Year Door is my favorite, bro.
No, that's fine.
It doesn't have little oinks.
Hey, yeah, there we go. It doesn't have power or mega quake. It doesn't have all or nothing. So with that being said, like, because with Paper Mario specifically, 64 and Thousand Year Door are two cream of the crops. People say 64 is better. People say Thousand Year Door is better. You're both right because they're both, I'm telling you, stellar games, right? And Super Paper Mario is really, really, really good too. But then Sticker Star, Color Splash.
You don't think about that,
bro. I'm no. But please,
Sticker Star and Paper Jam. Let's not.
Yeah. Please, and like Thousand Year Door is the game's game. And then a lot of people argue, why didn't they remake 64? Like my take is that because 64 is rarely available on it, so I'm like, if you have it there, this there, and I'm streaming it, and it's funny because ever since we got the release date for May for Thousand Year Door, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but Twitch's viewership for Paper Mario 1 shot up a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
And I'm like,
anticipation for
sure. Nah, the game's good. Play it, please. It's good. All right. Excellent. So now that we've gone through Nintendo Direct predictions, let me give my predictions really quick. And then we can talk about that and then get into the final part of the stream. So obviously, Zelda fan, we all are Zelda fans. Twilight Princess HD, Wind Waker HD, but then also there is that rumor about Grezza working on a remake remaster of a very beloved Zelda game, and I talked about this in a previous stream, and I want to know what you guys think. So a lot of people are saying there's a rumor saying that Grezza might be working on an Oracle's remake, and if you're like, oh, they're going to remake Oracle Season and Ages, no. Imagine this. They make a game called The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Secrets and allow both games compiled into that game, and then when you beat both paths, you unlock the secret path.
Hello, weed maps? I would like whatever he's been smoking.
No, don't do that, Roger. You would love that, Roger. All right, Roger, the ball's at you. I'm pitching it to you, man. I'm no longer throwing it. Here, take it. Bro. Come on, tell me that wouldn't be good.
It would be amazing, right? I'm not saying it wouldn't be amazing. I'm just like, man, having an Oracle sequel game. Like, there ain't no way we're getting that this year. No way.
Hey man, Nintendo has sat on wilder things. No, okay, wild things.
As wild. I was like,
As
maybe not
wild,
wilder
yeah.
than that.
So for those that are asking in the chat, I'm not implying, I am, but I'm not implying a third game, because for those that don't know, Oracle Seasons, Oracle Ages was supposed to be 3 games: the Mystical Seed of Power, Wisdom, and Mystical Seed of Courage, right? But the Mystical Seed of Courage was like, they were like, okay, we can't make this work with 3 games. So Mystical Seed of Courage was like done and dusted, and they remade Mystical Seed of Wisdom and Power into Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons, right? But the Oracle of Secrets 4 is in both games that allow you to link both to get all of the like wild stuff and the final storyline, in which Kurome and Kotake revive mindless beast Ganon. I'm saying that Grezzo could incorporate all 3 of those planned aspects into one title, because in this day and age, I like, bro, like if it ain't Pokemon, I'm not out here buying 2 versions of one game, right? So, especially in a game like Seasons and Ages. So I'm saying that they make a game called Oracle of Secrets that has both Ages and Ages and Seasons storylines in them. You play both. Once you beat both, you unlock the final storyline Secrets, and that's what the game is. That's what I'm playing.
I mean, that'd be fire. I'm not arguing with you.
I mean,
that would be incredible, but
Sounds good.
But
that's nice.
So I'm gonna throw over to Nintendo Fangirl. Putting you on the spot.
I like the idea of it a lot. I think it would maybe wishful thinking, but I think
no, absolutely, it's copium. It's copium, absolute copium.
I would prefer to see Grezzo working on Minish Cap personally, but
that's very good, and I would love that. Absolutely.
But I think the Oracle games kind of could do with a lifting up, a facelift, and I think they have the potential to be among the most beloved. And I also think with what we got with Link's Awakening was, in my mind, pretty close to perfect. I was really happy with how that came out. So I'll take whatever they're working on. As long as it's an actual Zelda game, I'll be happy.
Absolutely. My only issue with the idea is that both of the Oracle games are available on Nintendo, so and whatnot. But Ndukauba, what do you think about that?
Okay, so with me, right?
Yeah.
When it came down to Zelda games in general, unfortunately, growing up, I never really had the opportunity to play them.
Gotcha.
Right? But starting when the Switch was coming out, Breath of the Wild, that was like the actual first Zelda game I really sunk my teeth into and loved it, right?
Really?
Then,
okay.
Yeah. And then afterwards, when the Switch Lite released, they released Link's Awakening. Now, I've always known about Link's Awakening because of, like chain jump and all stuff, and I saw like images like when I was younger and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I never actually had the opportunity to play the game. And if I'm not mistaken, Grezzo made that game, right? Link's Awakening? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so when I'm telling you, I no-lifed that game. I'm talking about nothing mattered.
For Link's Awakening, wow.
I loved it, man. Like,
it was fantastic. I'm like with you.
Yeah, so I'm like, based on my impression of that game, right? I never played Oracle of Ages or Seasons, right? So if they were to like do something with that and then have like the like you were saying, like an Oracle of like Secrets type thing.
Yeah.
Just based on how Link's Awakening was for me, I'm trying to play that. You know what I'm saying? Like, make that. I will get it hands down. That's all I can say about that.
Oh man, because like someone said in the chat, and it's true. Like listen, by no means I think Link's Awakening is a bad game. I think it's a good game. I love the game. Link's Awakening is my least favorite Zelda game. But moving on from that,
for Zelda 2.
Well, Zelda,
yes.
Zelda
I also really like Zelda 2. I'm sorry. I really like Zelda 2. And it's
Link's
funny how
Awakening below it though is wild to me.
Link's Awakening. All right, if you want reasons, here's 2 big ones. I'm not like we got to move on. But Link's Awakening has some of the worst dungeon design. Eagle Tower sucks, and then Link's Awakening as an identity and concept, bro. Links to the Past Link to the Past on Game Boy, but worse. Ooh, right? So, but here's the thing. I don't think it's bad. It's just my least favorite. I really like Zelda 2, and that's what I'm saying, that even though if Grezzo is working on an Oracle's reimagining, remake, whatever, I'd rather have Mercury Steam or Grezzo, like, remake Zelda 2 so people understand how good the game is. Because I love Zelda 2.
So they could make it better.
I'm down for it either way. Like, again, like, just as a person who hopped onto Zelda late, like, I'm down. Like, if they make it, I'm playing it. I think it's honestly that simple.
Yeah. No, because
but also Link's Awakening, right? Is that not up in the air for possibly being remade? Sorry, not Link's Awakening. It's not.
I'm sorry, it got remade. What do you mean? Like,
I meant Link to the Past.
I mean,
sorry, Link to the Past.
I would love a Link to the Past remake. But I mean,
it's already a fantastic game.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, like, here's the pin that ruins that for me is just like, people consider, and like, I'm not saying they're right, people consider A Link Between Worlds both a remake and sequel, and that already happened. And I'm like, and then also I'm in the boat where, like, A Link to the Past, I can play on NSO, I can play on so many other things. Like, it's like, it's so good it doesn't need a remake. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand.
Yeah,
I get that.
So like, I like, I'd rather them remake games like Oracle or Zelda 2 or whatnot. And then also in the back of my mind, even though I feel like Ocarina of Time is the closest we'll ever get to a perfect game, if they remade that in the style and scope of like Resident Evil 2 remake, where they make everything bigger and better, I would love that. And that is like, if they have any type of thought in their mind to do that, prioritize that. But in that aspect, we're gonna go ahead and move on to Nintendo Switch 2. We talked about Nintendo Switch 2, how we felt about the confirmation. We talked about Nintendo Direct, which is happening next month. Let's talk about the idea of Nintendo Switch 2 games, in which y'all can talk about either games that launch specifically for Switch 2 or games that launch for Switch that will be better on Switch 2. Like, the boat is your oyster. In that aspect, I'm going to throw the ball over to NintendoFanGirl first, in which, like, let me know your thoughts. Either games only for Switch 2, games that are Switch 2, but games that release on Switch this year, or that are better on Switch 2, go for it. Let me hear it.
Okay. So games, I'm going to say games only on Switch 2. Something I would really, really love to see return to the Switch 2, presuming that they're still going to be considering it a handheld console.
Okay.
Is Street Pass. And Street Pass / Spot Pass.
Oh, yes, please.
And so, and I don't even mean this jokingly. One thing I would really like to have return is Nintendogs. But so I'm thinking there's a possibility here for Nintendogs to have a wider appeal. Turn it into a combo walking / social interactivity game, so that
can I pause you really quick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pause you. I love that you brought Street Pass, because I was at PAX East this year and I Street Passed a lot, and I'm like, damn, Street Pass is fun. And I'm pretty sure you were at PAX East this year and you didn't say hi to me again.
Thank you. Anywhere. Did we Street Pass?
I'm not gonna say anything.
You're not gonna say where are you going with that story? You're not gonna say? What are you doing?
No, because like I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume, because like anyone can Street Pass to say that they're Nintendo fangirl. I'm like, oh look, it's Nintendo fangirl. It could have been a fake.
It probably was.
I was there Street Passing with my 3DS though.
I love that. But honestly, to addendum on that story, my 3DS XL, the Zelda one, not the Majora's Mask one, but the others of the one that was like, it was the A Link Between Worlds one, but not really. So I've been Street Passing with so much that apparently, my SD card slot got loose. So I have to bring a tool with me in order to, like, okay, shift it back in there. All right, now we got Street Pass going. But I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So I think there's a bunch of possibilities if you were to incorporate Street Pass, Spot Pass. But Nintendogs is one that comes to mind because I think it also has the opportunity to kind of dovetail with like a smartphone app, which Nintendo's been going into and stuff like that. The other one is Animal Crossing, which we kind of talked about. But I think Animal Crossing is in New Leaf, the Street Pass feature was like invaluable. And it also kind of goes with what I was saying with the 3DS backwards compatibility. If you could bring back like a Bravely Default port, or even if it's just backwards compatible somehow with the original Bravely Default, that game had really cool Street Pass features. So many games had really cool Street Pass features that I miss greatly.
Oh, absolutely. Like, with Street Pass, they brought a really cool social aspect that was like I felt was bred from Pokemon, and I'm like, they brought it to new heights, and I'm like, this was so much fun. Like, there were so many years that I felt like a good chunk of us either went to PAX, if not PAX, other events, and we just had our 3DSs in our backpacks or our pockets, and we're like, bro, Street Passing, that shit was so much fun, and I would honestly love to bring that back in terms of bringing back like content or games or whatnot. And before I throw the ball over to the next one, Street Pass, obviously, Street Pass Nintendogs, something that I honestly would love if they brought back for Switch 2 that a lot of people really don't talk about, but some do. Nintendo Land, y'all.
Yes.
Like, Nintendo Land, because NintendoFanGirl brought this up earlier in the stream with the whole idea with the dual pads and then the game running on this stuff. But I mean, like, it'll be weird without actual console stuff connected to the TV. But like, Nintendo Land was super fun. The Luigi's Mansion minigame, the Chase Toad minigame, that was too good. It was too good. I'm like, if they were able to find any which way to either remake that or give us Nintendo Land 2, I will eat that up in a second. Absolutely, a second. But with that idea, let me throw it over to Roger now. Okay. Roger, Nintendo Switch 2 games that either you want exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2 or games that would be better on Switch 2 that come from Switch. Let me hear your thoughts.
I mean, the number one, this is surprising probably, is the person who got in trouble for saying he'd give up this franchise for a Pokemon game that looks like Sugimari's artwork. Oh, God. I love Donkey Kong, and I want to see a Donkey Kong, like an actual 3D, lush jungle, beautiful Donkey Kong game.
Wait, Roger, let me stop you really, really quick. I'm gonna let you continue, but like, when we were talking about the Donkey Kong game on the previous stream I was on, like, bro, imagine a big-ass, lush, beautiful jungle and Donkey Kong having both the abilities to fucking web swing with vines like in Spider-Man or surfing on trees like Tarzan.
I love that. Yeah,
I just
being able to like swing around on vines would be sick.
Yo, I just wanted to put that in your brain. So now the floor is back to your.
No, I feel like Donkey Kong in general is something that like I honestly wouldn't even write off the possibility that there might be one coming to Switch this year.
Absolutely.
Only because of the stuff going on with Nintendo World, and like you had Mario Wonder coincide with Nintendo World's initial opening. Now you've got Donkey Kong coming. But the big thing is like the big push for Donkey Kong at Nintendo World is specifically the Epic Universe opening of Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah, yep.
Which is when we would have the Switch 2. But the big thing about this that has me questioning things is like, hey, I personally, would love a Donkey Kong focused platform game, either a 3D one or even like another Donkey Kong Country at this point, I feel like would be fine. I would love that. But I also think like the Mario movie last year kind of alluded to a future in which we could maybe be like see Donkey Kong utilizing the Mario power-ups. You had like fire Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't get me hyped on that.
Like a Mario and Donkey Kong 3D platformer, like some type of open world Mario Donkey Kong tag team 3D platformer would be amazing on Switch 2. I think that would like sell gangbusters, would do really well for the Donkey Kong franchise as well, would go in line with the idea of Epic Universe opening where you've got the Mario side and the Donkey Kong side. Again, something Donkey Kong, either a standalone 3D Donkey Kong or a Mario and Donkey Kong 3D buddy game kind of adventure. I think like that's the one big thing I really do want to see exclusive on Switch 2 with those lush environments that would be possible because of the new hardware. And maybe even like, yeah, I love what Fangirl brought up with Street Pass and everything like that. Something that maybe takes advantage with Street Pass in some way where you pass by somebody else who's playing and you get extra bananas or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but I do know that like I am genuinely hankering for a Donkey Kong. I to the point where like I went back a couple weeks ago and I streamed Donkey Kong Country 3 for the first time because it was the only one that I hadn't played. And I had never played 3 and I had been dying for some type of Donkey Kong experience. And I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like there are a lot of people
with
that
Dixie Kong and Baby Kong.
I loved it. I've enjoyed what I played so far. It was great. But I want a Donkey Kong.
With that being said, when are you going to visit me in Florida when the Universal opens up?
Oh, I mean, next year I'll be there. I'll be there at
opening day.
Universal. They've been sending me these little like Universal coins to put into the gate for Epic Universe. I know like Katie's gotten a couple of them. I got a couple of them, and so hopefully this campaign that they're doing coincides with like, oh, and by the way, you get to go like launch week or something. That's what I'm hoping.
I'll see you out there in my hood.
I'll be there. I'll be there one way or the other for sure.
Oh my goodness. And with that being said, Ndukauba, let me know what you think on the possibility of Switch 2 games, either cross-gen or not. Let me hear it.
Man, just give me Picto Chat. You know what I'm saying?
PictoChat, bro. Bro, why would you have PictoChat when you could have Miiverse?
Listen, PictoChat's the OG. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That's crazy.
Nuts,
so on some actual Switch 2 games, I mean, again, just knocking out some of the ones that we said earlier, of course, Metroid Prime 4. Again, Mario Kart 9 would be great because, I mean, I get it. Right?
Yeah, Mario Kart, whatever the fuck, yeah.
Yeah, like it's a phenomenal game. Everybody loves it, and if I'm not mistaken, it's the best-selling Mario Kart game and the best-selling racing game.
Yep, it's the best-selling Nintendo game.
Yeah, so like I get it, right? If they don't want to worry about Mario Kart 9, like even when the Switch 2 comes out, like for like maybe the first few years, okay, sure. Right?
Wait, pause. Kirby Air Ride, Green Knight, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, say that was the other one I was going to bring up. Well, not specifically Kirby Air Ride, but I do want a new Kirby game.
Yeah.
Like Kirby and the Forgotten Land was incredible. Like and
it's pushing 8 million units.
As it should, right? Because when it came down to my favorite Kirby game, it was Planet Robobot, right? The game was fantastic, really loved it, and had the Smash Bros ability again, right?
Really good.
But God, Forgotten Land. They just took a whole new direction with Kirby and it worked. So if they were to bring something, just whatever, just a new Kirby game on the next Switch Successor or whatever, I'm down for that. And then in all honesty, I really do think that Nintendo should do this. I think it was a big mistake that they didn't do this with the Switch. And that's include like a pack-in game, right?
Right,
because,
yeah.
The way how, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think a lot of people kind of saw 1-2 Switch as it should have been like a pack-in game.
It should have, honestly, it should have. Yeah, no, it really should have, yeah.
So like, and we saw like how well Wii Sports did to, with the Nintendo Wii, right? It was packed in with the Wii. You bought the
it's so funny how like that was a big ass missed opportunity. It's like whatever packed in with the Switch would have been like numbers.
Exactly. I mean, actually, we kind of see that a little bit with Mario Kart because remember the bundle?
Yeah.
So, hopefully with the successor, they just give us some sort of packing game. It doesn't have to be like a grandiose title or anything of the sort, but it could just be like a simplistic, fun title that kind of shows off the capabilities of the device, much like Wii Sports.
A fun-ass title that you could play by yourself or with others, easy.
Yeah. And apart from that, I mean, look, the new Donkey Kong, look, bro, it's been too long. Come on now.
Bro, the last Donkey Kong game was Tropical Freeze, and that game is honestly one of my favorite games of all time, and it was a Wii U game, and then we got it on Switch, and I'm like, this game is too... If anyone here has never played Tropical Freeze, like, please. You're looking for an amazing platformer, you're looking for good difficulty, you're looking for amazing music, bro, play that game. What you doing?
There is one other thing that I want, right?
Yeah,
let's hear it.
Chad, I need y'all to listen to me, okay? We talked about it earlier, but I'm just going to reemphasize, right? Look, again, we need a new Mario game. Now, I know, we just got Mario Wonder, but listen,
Nah, but
Okay?
no, listen, none. Like, more Mario games, the better. The fuck?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, and I mean, we all know Mario's a system seller, so it's like I don't
absolutely.
know what type of concepts they would have this time. I mean, I don't know what goes through like their heads at Nintendo to think, okay, Mario, but with a water jetpack, or like Mario, but his hat is a ghost that can take control of things, right? I don't know how they do these.
Right. Yeah.
So, like whatever the next 3D game is, right? So long as it's like comparable to like the degrees of like the older 3D titles, sure, right? And of course, again, Mario's a system seller, so good and well. Yeah, you lead off with Mario. Those consoles are flying off the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so yeah. Again, just I don't really think there's much else that they really need to do for like the launch of the device. But I think if they have some of those titles, we'll be good. And then again, like I said, Xenoblade X, please, or Xenoblade 4, one or the other. I'll take it.
Yeah, Xenoblade next. Like, it's funny that you bring that up because, like, yeah, I agree. Like, I would love the next Mario game, but like, I can kind of read the terrain for games like Zelda, Smash, maybe, Kingdom Hearts, maybe even Kirby. But when it comes to Mario platformers, 3D or 2D, I can never read the terrain for that because Nintendo just breathes they breathe a certain type of creativity that I cannot foresee with that kind of shit. I could foresee other games. I'm like, damn, but Mario not. So like, I agree 100%. Like, whatever it is, a new 3D Mario game, absolutely. And I remember seeing a couple of tweets earlier when it comes to RogersBase when they're like, oh, Bowser's Fury should be the next, like it should be the mold for the next. And I agree 100% because like that it was crazy because it was a little Odyssey, it was a little Breath of the Wild, it was a little open world. Like I get that, and it was really, really nice. My problem with that is just like, man, like, can they get the scope right? And because I said this on a stream not too long ago, like, I don't really much agree with the idea of shorter games better, right? Especially when it comes to certain games. Like, shorter games better it's fine with like games like Devil May Cry, Resident Evil. These games are meant to be played over and over for high scores, for better blah, blah, blah. But like a game like Zelda and Mario, like, I would want a Mario game to at least be 20 hours. I would want a Zelda game to at least be 30 hours.
Yeah. Most definitely.
So that's why I'm like, for a game like Bowser's Fury to be the next mold for Mario, I would love it, but they have to find the right balance. Right balance.
I kind of feel like that is what Bowser's Fury was, though. Like, to me, it felt like, obviously, it was a perfect little short game, but I feel like it was the testing ground for them to get their ideas out there to be like, can this concept work? Because I agree with you, like, I want the next big Mario game to also be very long as well. But what I don't want, going back to what we talked about with Odyssey, is as good as that game is, I do feel like a lot of the moons in that game and a lot of the stuff that you actually do is just kind of like padding. Like, you walk around and you'll just like find one on the ground. It's not like you actually have designated quests. Like, there weren't 120 moon quests.
No, I get that. I get that.
I would love something along those lines for the next mainline Mario game in that Bowser's Fury gameplay style, but with more of a contained and focused direction, for wherever they're going to take the story.
How would you all feel if they took a Bowser Fury's approach and then, Bowser Fury had like different set of islands and whatnot, that each island has its own contained stars, like stars for better. I know they're like cat sprites, whatever the fuck, right? That along with a portal in each island that leads to another world. And then that world allows, like, completing that world allows you to go to the next island. How would you feel about that?
I mean, it'd be fine. I genuinely really loved how Bowser's Fury, you could just go anywhere at any time. And I do think the concept is something that's kind of been untouched with Mario.
Yeah.
Like, I think you've seen bits and pieces of that. Like with the Odyssey, obviously, you have the Odyssey ship that takes you from one location to the other. Mario 64 jumps into paintings. Like, what better way to showcase the power of Switch 2 to be like, hey, look, we have this massive Mario game, and there's no load times that you can visibly
that would be really nice.
Anywhere. You're not like transitioning between a scene with like the flying on the Odyssey or like, jumping through a painting. You are just there.
That would be really nice. I would like that, like an open-ended Mario.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really cool.
I wonder if that would work with like a new Galaxy, like
totally.
Galaxy 3, please,
You
God.
already know. Say less, please. I mean, of course.
Can you Nintendo the way that you brought that up? Imagine, all right. So you know how Bowser's Fury was like in a waterscape, and then you go to all these islands around the water, and then Bowser's in the middle, and then he's like waking up. Imagine instead of that for Mario Galaxy, you're like zooming around a black hole on these planetoids around a black hole. But no, the black hole is just there for aesthetic, and like
as long as I can't get sucked up.
As long as you keep getting stars, the black hole stays back. But the black hole is where Bowser comes from, and then we get like Galaxy Breaker Bowser and shit. Yes, please give me that. But in that aspect, I'm a
wait. I have one last thing.
No, go ahead.
No, this isn't
wait, actually stop.
Nintendo related?
Wait. Yeah, no, continue. No, I was gonna say continue because I was gonna throw the ball over to you anyways. I just need to use the bathroom, so you yeah, go for it. I shall be right back.
I get to ramble. Oh, bet. Yeah. I get to hello everyone. So the only other thing I wanted was not a Nintendo game, but y'all know how we got kind of done dirty for like the Switch version of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
If we could just have an actual port,
release.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That was the only
I don't trust Square Enix.
You say that, but honestly, I feel like we didn't talk about it that much. But in terms of like third parties for the Switch 2, I think Square, if you look at their track record with the Switch, with Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, Bravely Default, you have a lot of these other games, like Live Alive even. Awesome. Great remake. I do think like they're, especially if you're looking at like the dwindling sales right now or the underperforming sales of Rebirth, despite how good that game is, I feel like with more powerful hardware, there's no way they don't take the opportunity to at least put,
we could use that to convince
Final Fantasy VII Remake on there or something. I don't think necessarily Rebirth, but I do think Remake is probably going to end up on the Switch 2 at some point.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. So I don't think it's beyond the realm of possibility for them to be like Kingdom Hearts collection coming to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I think one big thing is like what hurts the most for Kingdom Hearts in particular is the fact that like Kingdom Hearts 3 not working on the Switch. Okay, sure, I can kind of understand that.
Yeah.
All the other games not working on the Switch, I'm not sure about that at all. Like,
right.
Like, come on, Kingdom Hearts 1, come
no
on.
No reason it shouldn't have. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, this new like Switch successor or whatever, look. Better hardware, if it can handle all that, fantastic. Just port all those games natively on there. And then, like freaking Rebirth and Remake, absolutely. Oh, plus, because Crisis Core is also on the Switch, right? Yeah. So that could set everything up kind of nicely for like when the final game drops. Because if the new Switch can handle it, bam, you got the trilogy on the device.
So we're talking about big board games that could possibly run on Switch 2, right?
Yeah. Hey, HMK.
Welcome back.
I'm back. So I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm in the camp of the possibility of Remake, Rebirth, possibly 16 on Switch 2.
I hate to break this to you, but you were peeing and we literally already said that, so I'm sorry.
You missed
no, that's fine. No, it's fine. Hey, listen. One, you don't know what I was doing, and two,
oh my God,
you bringing it up is good enough. It's good enough. Right. So in that aspect, obviously I'll talk about Final Fantasy. I'm talking Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, non-cloud versions of my games. On Switch 2, absolutely. Maybe even that of Kingdom Hearts 4 because, I don't want to get y'all excited. But Tetsuya Nomura did state he didn't want to reveal the buttons for Kingdom Hearts 4 for a reason. And he hasn't said anything beyond that for a while. So I'm like, hey, maybe. I'm just saying. But absolutely.
Before all that, we still got to get Missing Link. But you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Missing Link is a mobile game. Play it on your mobile design.
Square Enix, let me in the beta, please.
The beta's over.
No, you know what? You guys are talking all about this Kingdom Hearts Disney weeb nonsense. You know what I want? Give me Genshin and give me Honkai Star Rail. Put both of those on.
Honestly, with Switch 2,
I just bringing up earlier about how you wanted to play.
Yeah,
Genshin,
no, we're gonna play that. We're gonna talk about that. No, absolutely, I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen.
I also think it's gonna happen on Switch 2. Yeah, I mean, they're sitting on money. It's easy money, and they're purposely like going back right now and fixing the PS4 version of Genshin. They literally just talked about that. Like they're fixing some of the slowdown issues. And so again, if the next Switch, I have to assume it's going to be at least as powerful as a PS4.
PS4 Pro at least. Hopefully.
Yeah, so there you go.
I'm actually so glad that you brought that up too. Only because when it comes down to third parties, just like in the Switch in general, it's a complete shift from how it was with the Wii U.
100%. Everyone wants in now.
Exactly. So I mean, Genshin and Honkai on like the Switch Successor, what? Sign me up.
Yeah,
absolutely. And then with that aspect, we got Honkai, Genshin, possibly that Zelda Zone Zero and whatnot. Other games.
It looks fire, by the way. That's
other games that could possibly be on Switch 2 that are like powerful enough. Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. Yo, let me tell you about the possibility of certain games like Hi-Fi Rush, certain games like Stellar Blade, also of course, like with Hi-Fi Rush, the whole thing. Yo, I know that it's PlayStation. Yo, remember like it came out way after the fact on Switch. Dark Souls. Imagine Elden Ring on Switch 2.
In fact, we didn't talk about this. We're talking about like launch games that are coming to Switch 2.
Yeah.
I would put money on Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yes.
I really truly believe that because obviously there's all the hype coming up with the DLC next month.
Yeah, Shadow of the Earth Tree.
Bandai Namco is like one of the closest partners with Nintendo. They have two internal teams dedicated just to making Nintendo Switch games. I wouldn't be remotely surprised if they were like Elden Ring is going to be a Switch launch title. And it makes perfect sense too with the DLC now coming out where they could do like a bundled deluxe edition where it has all the DLC included. Maybe they throw in like an exclusive Zelda boss or something for the Switch 2 version or like a Zelda outfit.
I don't know. Yeah, Zelda outfit. I don't know about Zelda boss, but Zelda outfit,
like,
absolutely.
Along those lines. I mean, a Ganon boss would be sick. Imagine like Elden Ring and they throw in like a special edition Ganon boss would be fire. But at the very least, I do think Elden Ring
you can't beat him unless the Master Sword is
going to be at launch, around launch window. I just think that makes a lot of sense. And again, like you had Skyrim around the time of Switch launching. That was that big sort of Western fantasy, very iconic previous generation game that everybody loved and was highly acclaimed, came to Switch. I do think Elden Ring is going to slot into that Skyrim sort of position.
So I'm so glad you brought that up. This is the next subject and probably the final subject. Let's talk about third parties, and like the sky is literally the limit when it comes to third parties for Switch 2. And then I know that Ndukauba and Roger already got their pieces in, so that's why I'm gonna throw it over to Nintendo Fangirl first. So
all right, I got a good one.
Let's go.
So Nintendo and Microsoft have been playing pretty nice together. And we do know that Microsoft owns Bethesda now, and also Fallout is kind of having a moment.
Oh yeah,
we could totally get a Fallout collection or Fallout 76 on Switch too.
Yo, yes, Fallout 4 or wait, all right. Listen, when it comes to Fallout, I'm the guy that's on the outside looking in. I don't know about y'all, and in the chat. So, are we saying 4 or New Vegas is better? What were we saying?
I mean, I've only played 76.
Oh, okay. All right, so we don't know. All right. We're Nintendo nerds. That's right.
No. I just feel bad that 76 is the one that you've played. Like,
I
heard it got better.
A lot of Fallout in my day.
It got better?
I heard it got better.
I only started playing it again after the show, like many people. Okay. So it's had a resurgence, and I do think it's gotten better.
Great, good. That makes me happy.
At launch, it was dog shit. I heard, man. But so Nintendo FanGirl, that's your Fallout. That's your thing. Because I mean, like Fallout's canon to Smash.
I mean, I think that there's a lot there to work with and a lot to sell. So I know Microsoft is kind of if it's going to sell on a Nintendo console, then they're into it. So
Of course.
Oh, absolutely. All right, so that's Nintendo FanGirl's piece. Fallout. Ndukauba.
Yes.
Existing IP that could probably run on Switch 2, given that like the specs are good enough. What are we thinking?
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all already know who I am, or I hope you guys know who I am. You guys know what my response may be.
Don't start. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I need to say
Don't do it. He's gonna do it. God
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
Sparking Zero. There it is. Yep.
I need that on the new console. Listen, okay, so Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, you guys already know, like, we've been getting a lot of announcements for the game.
Pause. Yes. It will never be competitive. I just want to say that.
Okay, look, see.
No, don't argue. Don't argue. You know it's true. It's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna play it, and it's gonna be great. It ain't gonna be competitive.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be at any Evo or anything of the sort. But like,
no, absolutely not. No, bro. I played Tenkaichi, and I played Budokai since the beginning. I was there. Those games aren't competitive. Those games are busted and broken as fuck. As fun as they are, they ain't competitive.
Joy.
It is, and you can have that. And I'm not sandbagging for you, but for anyone saying I'm looking directly into the camera into your soul. For anyone with the inclination thinking that that's gonna be competitive, like Fighters or like Marvel or like any of those games, no. Those games were never meant to be competitive, and never will be. So I want you guys to understand it. But I will be there. I will be there day one.
Yeah, but I mean, just imagine, right? Like,
absolutely.
Go. Like, it's always been because again, like, even though it's not the best version of the game, but I mean, you can play Dragon Ball Fighters on the go. You can play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 on the go. You can play Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission on the go. Like, there's being able to have that experience on the go. Again, it's a novelty of the Switch in and of itself. And obviously, if the successor is like that, then it'll have the same type of novelty. It doesn't get old, right? You can play anytime, anywhere. So, like, imagine Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Like, maybe you're at like your place, you're chilling, right? And then you got to fight. Dang, man, I can't play this.
Absolutely. I would absolutely love that shit. Yo, Sparking Zero looks so good, and it's funny.
So good.
Gamer Chosen actually, no, not Gamer Chosen. Clax brought up like, yo, imagine Tekken 8 on the Switch.
That would also be good too.
That would
fire. I love that.
Fire. Tekken 8 and because here's the thing. I want to assume that the Switch 2 will be able to run Unreal Engine 5, right?
Yeah.
But Street Fighter 6 runs on RE Engine and RE Engine.
Yes.
Yeah, RE Engine runs on regular Switch. So I'm like, RE Engine, Street Fighter 6 for Switch 2? Absolutely.
Yeah,
but
that's a no-brainer, especially considering like Capcom and their history with Nintendo. Yeah, like obviously Street Fighter 4, they managed to chuck that thing on the 3DS.
Bro, the 3DS Street Fighter 4 3D edition. What the fuck was that?
So I definitely, I think no-brainer Street Fighter 6.
And bro, we got the Switch exclusive for a while, Ultra Street Fighter 2. That is all like, Street Fighter 6 coming to Switch 2, absolutely. But now, Roger, the ball is yours. Existing IPs, existing games, the world is your oyster. What do you think could land on Switch 2?
Yeah, I mean, you guys stole a lot of my big ideas. I feel like Elden Ring, we talked about a little bit, right? I definitely think Elden Ring is one. I think Street Fighter 6 is another one, pretty much guarantee. I brought up earlier, so I guess this is kind of my answer, is the Hoyo games, like Genshin, Honkai, Zenless. I think those are all, again, like pretty much guaranteed locks. If I'm thinking, and then obviously we talked about when you were in the bathroom, the Final Fantasy stuff as well with Final Fantasy VII. I think that's another one that's like pretty much a lock. In terms of other games that could potentially be coming to Switch 2, you said exclusives are also included in this, like things that I think could potentially.
Yeah, you could say exclusives from Nintendo or IPs like big ones, big boy ones.
I mean, it's tough. This is like a dream pick. This is like
go for absolutely. We're all about dreaming here.
I think it would be incredibly stupid of Microsoft, after having seen how popular Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash was, to not fund like a Banjo redoey, right? I mean,
please, fucking Crash Spiral style, please, bro.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I think it's highly
unlikely
that we get Banjo 3E, but I think the idea
Xbox,
of
you want to make your money fucking back? Put that shit on Switch. God damn it, bro.
And the only question is, with all the studios they're shutting down, like, who are they going to have to make this thing, right? Like, I don't know, but I do genuinely think they see.
Yo, hand off the IP.
How much people want
to
that.
fucking boys for
makes too much sense.
Wait. Toys for Bob, Bob for Toys, Toys for Bob.
Shut down. They're done.
Yeah. I know. I thought they were, because I saw a recent tweet saying that they were surviving by a hair or some shit.
Maybe. I mean, there have been rumblings recently of some type of Banjo resurgence project happening right now. That would be great. I do feel like it would probably be something along the lines of what happened with Crash and Spyro, where they redo them. And again, I think it makes perfect sense to throw that on the Switch.
There we go. Toys for Bob went indie, right? That's one idea. If not them, hand over the development to Platonic.
Right,
bro,
I don't understand. That's the answer sitting
exactly
there.
Like, bro, a bunch of people that were on Banjo regrouped as Platonic. Yo, give it to them. Banjo redoing.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what we need.
Easy peasy.
Right.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Make it happen.
Yes.
All right,
so into my vein directly.
We have 15 minutes left on the show. I have a couple of announcements on the last 5 minutes for the next 10 minutes. If anyone in the chat has any questions for any of us, please let them fly in the chat. And as we're waiting, I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot the shit with my homies. So with that being said, let's get back to the idea of Nintendo Switch. Do y'all believe this is just random fuck ass end all questions, whatnot? With all the stuff that's going on with Nintendo Switch 2 possibly being not possibly, but is going to be announced within the next fiscal year, do you think that this next Direct is going to be the last Switch Direct? And NintendoFanGirl, I'm going to throw it to you.
Oh, I hope not. No, I think there'll probably be, let's see. So it's June. I think there'll probably be another one, probably very, very early fall or late summer.
Gotcha.
Just to kind of round out whatever's coming out for the very end of the year, probably release dates if we didn't get any complete release dates for end of year stuff, Pokemon stuff, and then I think the big Switch 2 announcement thing will be later in the year, like November-ish.
Right.
That's my guess.
I get that. I get that. What do you think, Roger?
I hate to break it to you. I think absolutely.
Absolutely, I agree.
I think it's the last Switch exclusive one, I should say.
Yeah.
I feel like we're probably, the way they worded it, this has also never happened in the history of them doing those investor meetings where they've pre-announced the Nintendo Direct, ever. I think them doing that and saying we're going to flesh out the lineup for Switch during this Direct means to me everything that is in development for Switch right now that is first party is going to be in that Direct. Everything from now until when the Switch Successor comes out is going to be in this big blowout June Direct. Then I think moving into later in the year, I could totally see them doing individual standalone ones. Like if there does end up being a Mario Party or there does end up being a Fire Emblem one, right? They've done dedicated directs to those franchises before. I could see a dedicated Fire Emblem Direct or a dedicated Mario Party Direct or something. But then I really do think August, September, that is the reveal trailer for whatever Switch 2 is. And then the next Direct that we get, going into, which I think would probably be January, because I don't think they would need to do another one in the interim. Right. I think we get that big January Direct, and it's specifically focused on Switch 2, because I don't think they want to split their focus. I think if there are other smaller Switch titles, they shadow drop them, kind of like what they did with Origami King or with in terms of the announcements, I mean, right? Where they shadow dropped the announcement for Age of Calamity. They shadow dropped the announcement for
Metroid Prime.
King. I think it's going to be stuff like that. I think Metroid Prime is going to be the Switch 2 big blowout thing, and then I think they're going to mention, by the way, it's cross-gen and you could play it on both. And then I really think that's it. I think like moving forward after the Switch 2 is actually launched, right, when we get directs, I definitely think we'll still see Switch games in those directs because the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible. And again, like the Switch has a massive install base. There would be no reason to just like cut it off. I think within the next year, I think we're still going to get Switch announcements in Nintendo Directs. But I do think this one is the last hurrah for the Switch, like beyond Indie Worlds and title-focused Directs. Yeah.
Gotcha. They have been very willing to announce things on Twitter and stuff lately.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's not too surprising. Yeah.
All right, so Ndukauba, what do you think? Do you think that this next direct is going to be the last like Switch direct?
You know what's crazy? I originally said no, but the way how Roger explained it was so immaculate that I'm actually changing my answer to yes. Right? I definitely see it being that way.
I agree.
And the thing is, the Switch is in a really unique spot, I should say, right? Especially because, of course, like Nintendo's going to want to be able to drive home as many sales of the Switch as they can before, the new console arrives. But also because of the fact that the Switch, I think, is currently the number 3 best-selling console of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
It's right.
Yeah, because I think it's right below the DS and, of course, below the PS2. So, like, if they had the opportunity to drive home sales, I think that they'll do it. But I don't think that they necessarily have to have dedicated Switch directs in order to do so. Like, maybe, like, there'll still be, like, residual sales after, the new console releases and all that stuff. But, yeah, next month, we probably get, like, that last big, purely Switch-focused direct. And then maybe, like, September or something, then we get, like, maybe, like, a direct with, like, a few things concerning the Switch in there. And then, oh, by the way, check this out. And then they show like the new console and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
And then that's when they kind of shift focus towards that console. So, I was originally saying no, but Roger's brain kind of fat. He's spitting.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like I used to work for Nintendo. Imagine that. Wow.
Almost. All right, so we have a couple of questions here. So, thankfully, a lot of these questions are yes or no questions, and we're going to leave them at that. All right. So, here's the first yes or no question. This comes from Scalar, and I'm going to throw over to Ndukauba, then Nintendo Girl, and then Roger. So, Ndukauba, first, actually, let me answer it first. Yes. Scalar, do you think we are going to get new Star Fox on the next or current Switch? And honestly, I believe so because, there's been sporadic interviews that Mimo is saying like he doesn't want to let that franchise go. So my answer is yes. Ndukauba, do you think we're going to have new Star Fox on the current or next Switch?
Okay. So my answer is going to be kind of weird. I'll try to condense it as much as I can.
Oh, but definitely condense it.
Do I believe if we're going to get a new Star Fox game? Absolutely. Do I think we're going to get it on the current Switch? No. Do I think we're going to get it on the successor? Yes. But in all honesty, I'm kind of hoping that they don't take the route of how they went with Star Fox Zero.
Please don't. I'm done with Star Fox 64 getting Star Fox getting remade 3 times.
I'm so sick of it. But not only that, and like, if y'all don't agree with me on this, y'all feel completely free to cook me, right? I stand by saying that was it Starlink Battle for Atlas was a better Star Fox game
you are not wrong.
Zero.
I get it. No, yes, I get it. Yep.
It was so much better.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So you give me something like that or whatever, then I'm fine. But I don't think that we're going to get a Star Fox game for the Switch. I think it's kind of too late for that.
All right. I want to continue as much with questions as possible. So, NintendoFanGirl, do you think we're going to get a new Star Fox game, current or next Switch? Yes or no?
Definitely not current Switch. Maybe next Switch. Although, honestly, I think Nintendo's probably kind of hesitant to invest in it after Zero, which is kind of like on them in the first place. But I do think when they put something out, it's going to have to be very different from Zero at this point. I'm personally game for a new Star Fox Adventures, but...
Hey, there you go. I love the Adventures.
I would love that.
All right, Roger, what do you think? New Star Fox game, current Switch, next Switch, what do you think?
No, it's literally, no. It's not coming to Switch for sure. And maybe it's going to be on Switch 2 if they end up doing something different with it.
Maybe.
I think I'm personally, and I know this is semi-controversial, but I really, truly believe that, like, if they don't do something different or just go back to the arcade roots, if they do want to stick
No,
with
no,
that Star Fox
I
Zero
feel they have
style,
to expand it.
like if they, but what I'm saying is like if they were just gonna say we're gonna make like a Star Fox Zero 2 and build upon that,
Fuck that.
I genuinely,
No.
I would rather the franchise stay dead, and I mean that legitimately. Like don't bury it any further. Like I really feel like Zero was the biggest misstep they could have taken, and I've said this before, but I think Star Fox, so much of it is like the corny dialogue. So much of it is like that really epic music. And Zero, the compositions were good, but like to actually go backwards and remove a fully orchestrated soundtrack and instead go back to like MIDI sound fonts, to not have all the fun multiplayer components that were there in Assault, and instead go back to the single player thing and rely on these weird controls. It's just like, and then also like to regurgitate a lot of the dialogue from 64 and the original and not really have anything funny or anything memorable, when Assault had all these awesome characters with really great dialogue. Wolf, wing riding with Wolf, right? That moment where the Aperoids take over General Pepper and he's like, my body is no longer under my control, shoot me down. And you got Wolf saying he's a tough old hound dog, he'll live. Like that was such a step in the right direction that for them to fumble it so badly
in Assault, my favorite scene in Assault when Peppy was like going down after he got infected with Aperoids, and he's like, he's like, Peppy, you mustn't. Yes, I must. This is my duty, and you must do your duty as well, Fox. And I'm like, I miss Star Fox so much.
Can you name any line of dialogue beyond dual barrel roll from Star Fox Zero? You can't. Like it doesn't, because everything from Zero.
I can't name anything from Zero. You're right. I can't.
Tough. And like again, Zero had, not to say like everything about it was bad, right? Like, but I do feel
no, bad.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I said this in a previous stream, and like I'm gonna like 2-second take of what you think about this. Let me elaborate. I would love a Star Fox game, and then like before you're like, whoa, I would love a Star Fox game that was like Persona 5. Now wait, here's the thing. Imagine by day or by a certain time of day that you're able to go on missions with the Star Fox team, right? You go missions, you do your thing, you go to different planets, shoot up enemies, blah, blah, blah. You come back at nighttime with Corneria on ground with Fox. You go and you hang out and expand your social links with like Crystal, Falco, Slippy, and then have the possibility of integrating and hiring new people to the Star Fox team, like Bill, like Kat, the people from Star Fox Command and whatnot. And then the further you go with their social links, the better they do in space combat. And then you're able to do space, what they call it, combo moves with you and Falco, you and Crystal and shit like that. I'm like, bro, like the amount of possible lore within Star Fox can, like, in my opinion, begs for that shit.
So what you're saying is Xenoblade X. Because isn't that kind of similar to
what I'm saying is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah,
for Star
that's
Fox.
what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm saying.
That would also be fire. I would love that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, also, side note, because you mentioned Persona. Look, man, Persona 4, just remake that game for the Switch 2, or just in general. That'd be
nice. Talk to Atlas. I'm waiting for Snowboard Kids.
Persona 3 Reload, by the way, 100% coming to Switch 2 as well.
Absolutely.
That game is so good, man.
All right,
definitely gonna be there.
So, did I ask you all about the Star Fox, or was it just Roger?
You asked me.
We all talked about it.
Yeah, we all talked about it.
I mean,
I could sit here and talk about Star Fox Grand Prix all day if you want.
No, that fake ass shit. So we all talk about Star Fox. All right.
Yeah, but wait, one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We know that Nintendo is also working on various quote-unquote visual projects, and I think Star Fox could be
an
really
anime.
Good
yeah, after the
anime,
the Zero anime, the Zero anime was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I would love that. Absolutely.
All right, so here's the next question to y'all, and I feel this is a quick yes or no, and I'm gonna throw it over to NintendoFanGirl first. All right.
Okay.
Sorry. Do you think we'll see the next mainline Mario game next year specifically? And that comes from GameFan. And NintendoFanGirl, what do you think?
Next year, no. Honestly,
No?
I don't think it's gonna be. No, not with how close Bowser's Fury and Wonder are. I think we're looking at more than a year out. I don't think it's gonna be a launch window game.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna throw the question over to RogersBase. Next year, next mainland game, yes or no? It could be on Switch or Switch 2.
For Fire Emblem?
No. Mario game.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Next mainland Mario game.
Yep. Next year, Switch 2.
Oh, you think so? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, lock it in.
Gotcha. All right, Ndukauba, what do you think?
Absolutely. And just a quick explanation.
Yeah.
Odyssey released the same year the Switch launched, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like with how long it's been since Bowser's Fury, I think there's a possibility. Again, maybe not 2D because we literally just got Mario Wonder, but 3D, yeah, for sure. If that's what they're aiming for, I could definitely see that happening next year.
Gotcha. All right, pretty good answers. All right, so here is the next question, and that's going to come from Clax. It's a Zelda question. I'm gonna throw the ball over to Rogers first.
Okay.
Do you think we'll get Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD for Switch 1 before or after the Switch 2 releases?
I think we are getting Wind Waker HD within the next 6 months on Switch. And I think it gets announced during that giant June Direct. I think Twilight Princess HD, I'm less inclined to believe that one. For a couple reasons.
So you don't believe in a bundle?
I think a bundle would be great.
Right.
But I think they might have
like knowing Nintendo, knowing the game companies, like they'll separate.
But I think Wind Waker for sure is going to be announced during the June Direct, and I think will be released within the next 6 months. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So I'm throwing the ball over to NintendoFanGirl now. What do you think about Wind Waker Twilight Princess? Do you think it'll be announced and or released before or after Switch 2?
I'm gonna say both games announced and released this year.
Hey, that's what I like to hear.
I'm very optimistic.
Down. Same, absolutely.
That would rule.
Somebody's got to be. All right, Ndukauba, what do you think?
I would honestly like to see. It's weird. If Wind Waker got announced for the Switch, that'd be great. If they decided to be like, okay, yeah, Twilight Princess Switch 2, sure. But in all honesty, like, if maybe they could go the Breath of the Wild. Oh wait, no, if it's backwards compatible, it doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah, I'll put them all on the Switch. Bet.
Nice. All right, so we have enough time for one more question, and that question is going to be. I'm scrolling through the chat right now, so give me 1 second. All right, here we go. Here's the last question from NX Revolution. Says, if we had to throw a dart at a dartboard on when the Switch 2 could possibly be revealed, let's reduce it to a month, right? Okay. And I'm going to start it off, and I'm going to say, personally, September. I heard the rumors, but aside from the rumors, I feel that will be the honest best bet. And what month do you think could the Switch 2 be released?
September.
Revealed. There you go.
Yeah, revealing it September. Like, I say pushing it up October, but I think that's probably like that sweet spot. So it's like, okay, like you guys know what's coming. Like you guys probably have already like seen it now. Like, okay, you know what's happening. Get ready. So I think September is probably like the best time for that.
Right. Okay. And now I'm throwing it over to Roger. What month do you think the Switch 2 could possibly be revealed?
I also think September. Yeah.
September?
September. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a very good month. All right, NintendoFanGirl, what do you think?
Just for the sake of not bandwagoning, I will say October.
Hey.
I do think that the initial announcement is going to be very bare bones, and they're going to save a lot of stuff for
a later
announcement. Yeah.
Right. Now, honestly,
do that
because from the translations that I've read from the investors meeting, I feel like they can go down the route that they did with the Switch, where like now that since NintendoFanGirl said bare bones, they could release a video or a trailer of a Switch 2, and then like, okay, they show it, we have many questions, but those questions get answered at an actual event that probably happens a month or two after that. And they're like, your questions will be answered here, and then they break it down for you, and then months after, like, I'm sorry, 1 or 2 months after that, the thing actually releases. So I think it'll be a good idea.
I'm actually glad that you brought that up, because I was thinking literally the exact same thing, where again, like September, October would be the best time to announce it, but just to give us like that little tease, right? So that way it doesn't like potentially impact like whatever holiday that Nintendo's planning up. And then maybe like January, right, of the following year, then because I'm pretty sure that's what they did with the Switch. Then since holiday season is pretty much over, then it's like, okay, look, new console, this is everything about it. It releases in like 3 days, right? Not really 3 days, but yeah, it releases like a few months from then, and then that's when everybody starts stacking up and like trying to be able to get it. So I think that would be like the best game plan. Just do what you did with the Switch. That's it. It worked last time, so why wouldn't it work again?
Exactly. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for coming out to this explosive episode of The Fifth Dimension. I have a couple announcements for y'all, but before I do that, I want to throw the ball over to my amazing special guests to let them tell you where they can find that. Like, let me try again. They will let you know where you can find them there. All right, so first and foremost, Nintendo Fangirl, let them know where they can find you. The ball is yours.
Hi, you can find me pretty much as Nintendo Fangirl everywhere. And I'm also in 2 episodes of Squid Game The Challenge on Netflix.
Hey,
That's where you can find me.
Fire.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that you were like, hey, I'm there. I'm like, oh, I'm watching. Like, I am seated. Oh my God. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And now, Ndukauba, let them know where they can find you.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Ndukauba. You guys can find me on YouTube at Ndukauba. You can find me on Twitter at NdukaubaYT. You can find me on Twitch at Ndukauba. I also do have a TikTok. It is at NdukaubaYT. Again, I do Dragon Ball, Nintendo, all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check that out. Also, just to end off my segment, if you will, Gogeta's better than Vegito. That is all.
You're wrong. You know why? Because they had to mold Gogeta to be like Vegito in order to make it.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
That's true, man. GT sucks. So, RogersBase, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at RogersBase on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, and on Instagram. I usually stream 3 or 4 times a week on YouTube and Twitch. And I'm trying to think of some cool stuff that I have coming up in terms of Nintendo stuff. Tomorrow, I will be doing a live stream for Endless Ocean and Another Crab's Treasure. It's going to be like an Under the Sea themed, fun little Nintendo stream. I'm looking forward to that. And next Thursday, it's the 16th. Be on the lookout. I have a very, very special Nintendo video I am supremely proud of. I've been working on for the past, I want to say it's like 3 months. I've been working on this video. The conceit of the video is essentially, I don't know if any of you remember the old Hot News 64 VHS tapes that used to be released.
Absolutely, yeah.
Where they would give you like the Hot News 64 tapes of Funkoland, and there was one specifically that teased Jet Force Gemini and Donkey Kong 64. Well, this year is the 25th anniversary of both Jet Force Gemini and Donkey Kong 64. And it turns out that Steve, who hosted those old videos, lives 10 minutes from my house. And we may or may not have gotten together for a full hour.
Bro, don't say that. May or may not. You don't know.
In which he basically talked about the entire experience of recording Hot News 64, a whole behind the scenes look sort of at what Hot News 64 was like.
Bro.
And it turns out his kid is also a huge fan of my channel. And so we sat down with his kid to do a full live reaction to Hot News 64 with the host, Steve. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's like I said, it's like an hour and a half long. It's highly edited.
I'm mad excited for that.
It is super duper exciting. I'm so happy to finally be able to talk about it. And that'll be up next Thursday. So look forward to that.
Yo, I'm so glad you reviewed like, top. Man, I don't know if my reviews are going to top that shit. So like, ladies and gentlemen, before I leave y'all, I have 3 big reveals for y'all. 1, I hope you guys are ready for next week when it comes to the Miami area Otaku Fest. That's right, your boy HMK is going to be there live for all 3 days, hosting a panel each day for Otaku Fest. But you would think, wait a minute, what about the fifth dimension and other aspects for that? Well, on Thursday, before the event starts, we are going to have a very special episode of The Fifth Dimension to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of Tears of the Kingdom with many other Zelda enthusiasts and YouTube channels. They will be revealed in the coming week. But before I leave you all, when it comes to the Saturday of next week, be sure that the Keepers of the Key will reconverge once again, and we will see you live when it comes to that day, Saturday next week. So until the next stream, this has been your boy HMK, and this has been RogersBase, Nintendo Fangirl, and Ndukauba. Until the next episode of The Fifth Dimension, we will check you guys later.